Congressman Jim Jordan is the chairman of the Judiciary Committee. He's also on the Oversight Committee, and he squared off against the mayor of Denver yesterday about his inaction when it comes to illegal immigrant criminals in that city. This is a masterclass in cross-examination, questioning, and congressional testimony. Watch Jim Jordan, one of the best at his best.
Who's Abraham Gonzalez?
Thank you, Congressman. He is a individual that was released from the county jail on Friday in the city and county of Denver.
That's all you know about him?
I do know that he was facing charges that the
Venezuelan gang member arrested by Border Patrol on September 20th, 2023, released into the country by the Biden administration. A few months later, he's arrested in your city, charged with aggravated assault. On March 11th, 2024, he's charged with motor vehicle theft, stole a car. And then on March 20th, 2024, Mr. Gonzalez is charged with felony menacing. 6 days after that last charge, ICE sends you a detainer, which includes an administrative warrant. Basically, it says if you're going to release this bad guy, this gang member who allegedly stole a car, menaced people, and assaulted people, give us a 48-hour heads up. Is that right? That refresh your memory?
I do know about the detainer request. I do know that we provided a notification of release.
What kind of notice did you give ICE when you released him?
We gave him notification. I'm not sure how long in advance
1 hour.
it was. I do know that.
1 hour.
I do know that there were
1 hour notice, and you released him 5 days ago, right? Why not give him more heads up? Actually, let's put the slide up. Let's see what it says here. But let's put the slide up. This is what the Denver Sheriff's Department, is kind of hard to see, so I'll read it. It says Denver.
All right. So before he does, and we will pick it up, I just want to make sure you know what's going on here. So this is what happens. I've had to deal with this. I do a radio show here in Washington, D.C. I've done it for over 12 years. The local jurisdictions here, Montgomery County, Fairfax County, Virginia, Prince George's County in Maryland, they all have the same policies. These are sanctuary policies where they don't cooperate with ICE. Here's what happens. Local police arrest a bad guy, find out that he is a non-citizen, and they go into a system, and federal law enforcement agencies like ICE, they have access to that system, and they say, oh, you got one of our guys. You got a guy, a criminal. He broke the law. You've arrested him. He's in custody. Don't release him. All right? And what they do is they put out what's called a detainer. They tell the local law enforcement officials, do not release him, detain him. When a judge says, you can't hold him any longer, don't release him. Let us know. We'll come and get him. All right. That's what a detainer is. And the local jurisdictions, like in Denver, where they refuse to cooperate with ICE, they call themselves sanctuary cities. They won't do it. They'll just ignore it. They ignore federal law. They ignore federal law enforcement, or they'll be cutesy like this guy did, like this mayor did, which is they held him for like over 300 days. The judge finally said, listen, you got to release him. You can't just keep holding him without trial, without this. You got to put him out on bail. You got to, if he posts a bond, you got to let him out. And so they did it. And then they let ICE know with 1 hour's notice, right? In a big city. And so ICE is then supposed to mobilize, send their people over and go get that. Right? It's outrageous. It's ridiculous. It's despicable. And it happens all the time in cities that are run by Democrats. Okay. And that's what Jordan's talking about here. This is a bad hombre that Denver police had. Think about if you're law enforcement, by the way. You got to go in. You got to risk your life to get the bad guy. You arrest him. You bring him in. You book him. You hold him. And then you got to release him on bond or bail pending trial. ICE, your brothers in blue that also wear a badge for the federal law enforcement agency, they, hey, bad guy, we got him. He doesn't even have to stand trial in Denver because we got him on federal charges. Let us take him. And you're told by some pencil neck geek who happened to win an election that you've got to let him go. Oh, the law says you got to let ICE know. Okay, fine. Tell him an hour before. And then you're a cop. You got to watch this guy walk the streets. Just walk out your door. And then Democrats will say, oh, we love our police. We love our first responders. And they'll trot out, neck tattoo Capitol Police officer dude, Fanone or whatever the hell his name is. The only cop they've ever loved because he hates Trump. And they can make political hay with him. But this is how they treat regular cops. All right. So let's go back to Jordan here.
The Denver Sheriff's Department is kind of hard to see. So I'll read it. It says Denver Sheriff Department, ICE notification being released to the streets. I simply said, just release him to us. You release him to the streets. Why not release him to ICE?
Thank you. What we've done, and we do this regularly, we've done 1,226 of these, is we notify
I'm
us.
asking about one. I'm not asking about the 1,200.
I
I'm
understand.
asking about Mr. Abraham Gonzalez, who's a gang member from Venezuela, stole a car, assaulted someone. You had him in your custody for how long?
I know that we released him.
345 days you had him in custody. And I said, hey, can you give us 48 hours heads up?
I don't
You
know.
gave him 1 hour notice.
Mr. Congressman, we notified them of release. There were 6 ICE agents present when he was released, so they had enough time to respond and to be present
Respond where?
to the jail where we released him from. So we released him we notified them of the release time. When we notified them of release, they come to the jail facility to pick them up. They're
why
still
didn't you say that's not what you said? You said you release him to the streets. Did you release him to the streets? You release him to ICE?
What we do, sir, is we release him from our county jail and we coordinate with ICE on that release time and release date so that ICE can come and pick them up from that location.
Pick him up where? In the parking lot?
Yes, so they're on the facility
Guess what
property.
happened in the
Yeah. So, well, hold on. I just almost jumped on the punchline, but this is the other thing. Again, pencil necked politician wins an election. He likes to virtue signal. He has to grandstand to all the illegals who probably voted for him in Denver. So what they do is they don't let the ICE officers on the premises in the building. This is how they like sort of try to get away with it. See, here's how it should happen. You've got a criminal illegal alien. He's in a holding cell in the jail, in the county jail where the police are, right? You go into his cell, you cuff him, you walk him out. You hand him over to federal law enforcement officers. The federal law enforcement officers with cops all around inside the facility right there, they uncuff him from the county sheriff's cuffs, and then the federal officers cuff him, and then they walk him out into their car and it's done. But see, they don't do that in that controlled way that you handle a criminal, right? Instead, they say, oh, we're not going to let ICE on the premises. We're going to let ICE in this building. We're drawing the line here because Trump's a bad man. And so what they do is they walk him out onto the street. And then this is if they do the transfer to ICE. Sometimes they don't even do that. They just release the guy. But in this case, the ICE officers got there in time. And they said, okay, we're here. We got the detainer. Give him to us. So they walk out onto the street in the parking lot or on the sidewalk. And then they do the transfer. And here's what happened. Here's what happened when they walked out into the parking lot to do the transfer instead of in the holding cell where it should have happened.
Yes, so they're on the facility
Guess
property.
what happened in the parking lot?
I know, sir. I've reviewed the video. So I looked at it. I've talked to the sheriff last night.
One of the ICE officers got assaulted, didn't he?
I've reviewed the video,
They had
sir.
to tase the guy, didn't they?
Would you like me to answer, sir?
No, I'd like you to answer. Did they tase him?
I know that there were 6 officers that had multiple tasers. I saw the
So they
detention
had
on
6
video.
officers. If you keep him in the facility and they come in the facility and get him, does it take 6 officers? Probably takes 2, doesn't it?
So we've been doing these, as I mentioned, 1,224 times, 1,226 times. This is the first time I've been made aware of there's been an incident like this. So I reached out to ICE after I saw the video. I've coordinated with their team and offered to sit down and see if there are procedures we can change.
It's a simple
make sure this
question.
works smoothly.
It's a simple question. You can release him in the parking lot, give ICE 1 hour notice, and they got to send 6 officers to arrest this guy. Or you can say, hey, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna hold him. You come in and bring 2 officers in, and you turn him over there. Why not do it that way?
We have a city ordinance.
You know why you don't do it that way?
We have a city ordinance that
Because you're a
governs.
sanctuary city. This is the whole point.
No, sir, I disagree with you.
Oh, okay.
Because I'll tell you why. If you talk about sanctuary as a definition of shielding people from law enforcement, we do not do that. What we do is provide services. In this context, what we did is we coordinated the
An
release.
officer got assaulted because of your policy, which says we're going to release him to, in your words, not mine, to the streets. They have to arrest him in the parking lot. They bring 6 officers when they could have had 1 or 2 just come in your facility, in the jail, and take the guy there. But you won't do it that way.
I've seen the video. I've reached out to ICE.
care if
I've
you've seen the
offered to
video. I
sit
know the
down and
facts
coordinate
too.
on strategies. If we need to make adjustments to what we do on releases, we'll do that. This is the first time in the 1,226 releases.
You know, I
I've heard
read
of an
your
incident, so we'll
written
take
testimony
action.
last night. I read your written testimony last night. 4.5 pages. And you used the word safe, safer, or safety 13 times. Talking about my job is to protect us, is the safety of the people in Denver. We prioritizing making sure everyone in our community is safe. That's a lie. Because it was not safer for the ICE agents who are part of your community. No way was it safer. The safest thing to do is to say, ICE, we got him in custody. Come here, we're releasing. We held him 345 days. We can't hold him a second longer. We can't wait for you to come inside the building. We got to let him go, so you have to arrest him in the parking lot. That is how stupid sanctuary policies are and what they mean to the community that you put at risk and to the ICE officers ICE officer who was assaulted. And they had to use a taser on it's not good.
Mr. Chairman.
Amen. Amen. This is why we love Jim Jordan, and this is why we love common sense and logic. We have the facts on our side. We have common sense on our side. They have subversion of the law and virtue signaling and all the feels and all the emotes. But ultimately, all their feels and all their emotes and all of their grandstanding about how we're a sanctuary city and we welcome all you people, it ends up with more people harmed, more theft, more robberies, more crime, more sexual assaults, more murders. And it's a pretty easy choice you've got right now as a voter in this country. And if this is your mayor, if you're living in one of these cities, what the hell are you doing at this point? Why?